Hello, I am Manzil Qureshi with iON News Bulletin for today. The UK government have announced a further 621 deaths in the UK within 28 days of having a positive test, taking total number of UK deaths to 116,908. In addition to this, there has been a further 13,308 confirmed cases across the UK, according to government figures. The average number of daily reported cases continue to fall. However, figures are often lower at the weekend due to a lag in reporting. Prime Minister Boris Johnson says he is optimistic that he will be able to start announcing the easing of coronavirus restrictions in England later this month. He had stated that his main priority is still reopening, but added, "We have to be cautious to avoid taking a U-turn." However, it still does come as scientists warn against lifting lockdown restrictions too quickly, despite the UK being on target to vaccinate 15 million people by Monday. The Health Secretary, Matt Hancock, has said he hopes COVID-19 will become a treatable disease by the end of the year, and eventually we could live with the virus like we do the flu. A trial begins later this month to test how well the Oxford AstraZeneca coronavirus vaccine works in children. Some 300 volunteers, aged between 6 and 17, will take part to assess whether the jab produces strong immune responses in children. British parents living overseas whose children will have to travel back to the boarding schools in the UK when schools reopen have pleaded with the government to rethink hotel quarantine rules. Those who arrive from countries on the government's red list will be required to quarantine in a hotel for 10 days once new rules are introduced on Monday. Carl Fielder, who lives in the United Arab Emirates, has two daughters, aged 15 and 17, who attended a boarding school near Reading. He stated that the fact that schools haven't yet said when it is reopening means that parents cannot make a decision whether to book a plane ticket to beat Monday morning's deadline. Mr. Fielder suggested that children returning to the UK should be allowed to quarantine at school, adding schools are perfectly able to look after the kids and make sure they're staying put. A man was discovered hiding at an illegal house party when his legs were spotted dangling from the entrance at a loft, police have stated. North Yorkshire Police have found the reveller in a ceiling hatch as they attended a report of the gathering in Scarborough. In January, the force said they were still breaking up house parties in the town every night despite lockdown. More than 100 people have been fined for being at illegal indoor gatherings in the town. The bodies of a man and a woman have been recovered from a car that has been in the River Trent for almost 2 weeks. Searches has been ongoing since witnesses saw a car floating in the river near Hoveringham, Nottinghamshire, on 1st of February. Emergency services had located the car days later but struggled to reach it because of the fast flow of water caused by flooding. Nottinghamshire Police said relatives of the deceased have been informed. The force said specialist divers discovered the two bodies inside the vehicle after 10:30 a.m. on Saturday. Some contraceptive pills could be sold over the counter in the UK for the first time, the government have said. It is asking the public for their views on whether two progestogen-only pills, also known as the mini pill, should be available without prescription. The move has been called a landmark opportunity in women's health that would improve access to contraception. But there are also concerns about how much the pill would cost and how they would be given out. Claire Murphy, Chief Executive of the British Pregnancy Advisory Service, said reclassifying the pills should improve access to an extremely safe method of contraception. However, she said BPAS wanted the pills to be made available at an affordable price and for consultations at the counter to be swift and straightforward. Last year, a group of MPs and peers warned the coronavirus pandemic had made a difficult situation even worse for women trying to access contraception. However, anyone who needs contraception is being asked to call their GP surgery or a sexual health clinic. They will usually have a phone or video consultation before being sent an electronic prescription. The Biden administration says it will start gradually allowing into the US tens of thousands of asylum seekers currently forced to wait in Mexico. It says it will begin next week processing about 25,000 people with active cases. Asylum seekers will first be registered to pass a COVID-19 test before allowed in via 3 border crossings. This move reverses the much criticized policies of ex-President Donald Trump. The Migrant Protection Protocols program was enacted in 2019, deterring would-be asylum seekers from coming to the US. It requires migrants entering through the southern border to wait in Mexico while their cases were being heard by US immigration courts. But on his first day in office since winning last year's election, President Joe Biden suspended the policy. The ex-head of the European Central Bank, Mario Draghi, has been sworn in as Italy's next Prime Minister. Mr. Draghi put together a unity government of the main political parties following the collapse of the previous administration last month. It was thrown into chaos amid a row over to spend EU coronavirus recovery funds. Italy is still grappling with the pandemic and is also facing its worst economic crisis in decades. The country has recorded more than 93,000 deaths, the sixth highest death toll in the world. China has refused to hand over key data to the World Health Organization, also known as WHO, team investigating the origins of COVID-19, one of its members has said. Microbiologist Dominic Dwyer told Reuters, The Wall Street Journal and the New York Times the team requested raw patient data from early cases, what he called standard practice. Last week, the WHO team concluded it was extremely unlikely that the coronavirus leaked from a lab in the city of Wuhan, dismissing a controversial theory that emerged last year. Wuhan was the first place in the world where the virus was detected in late 2019. Iran's President Hassan Rouhani has warned a potential fourth wave of excess infections rates in some areas of the country. He said some cities in the southwestern province of Khuzestan were now categorized as red, the highest alert level. Iran started its vaccination campaign on Tuesday, and its first shipment of doses arrived in February. The first batches of the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine will soon arrive in Lebanon as the country prepares to begin its vaccination program. The launch will take place at midday on Sunday at the headquarters of the Prime Minister, where the outgoing Premier Hassan Diab will receive the first dose. The purchase of the vaccine is being financed by the World Bank, which says it will ensure a fair, transparent distribution of the first batch of doses. Lebanon has been facing a surge in infections in recent weeks amid a deep economic and political crisis. A strong earthquake struck off the coast of Fukushima, Japan on Saturday, just weeks after the 10-year anniversary of the deadly 2011 tsunami. The quake was 7.3 magnitude and was felt strongly in Tokyo, but a tsunami warning has not been issued, weather officials have said. This struck near the epicenter of the 2011 quake, which triggered a tsunami and killed more than 18,000 people. The tsunami caused a nuclear accident at the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant, the world's most severe nuclear accident since the Chernobyl disaster in 1986. As always, please do stay safe and follow government guidelines wherever you are. Do not leave your home unless necessary. Please wash your hands, keep a 2-meter distance between yourself and others. Always wear a face mask unless exempt. Let's all play our part to reduce the threat of coronavirus in our community. Check up on neighbours, family and friends, and also look after your own physical and mental well-being. Thank you all. Please continue watching iON TV. I am Manzul Qureshi. Take care. Goodbye.